Hi guys, and welcome to my advanced Excel data entry system with search function. Let me show you guys how this works. The first place, this is one of the search function that I have on my system, and here is another one. Supposing we want to search for, let's say, the following data. Let's say it's 5855, and just click on search. There we go. That's the candidate right there. The name is Tony Montana. Supposing we intend to use the spin button right here, just click on the spin button to search around. Look at that. Okay, it seems we have duplication of this very name. Okay, so we're going to have to find a way to delete. Let's see right here. We do have duplication of Mommy Jonathan right there, so we can always come in here where we have delete, click, and we have deleted one. We have more here and delete, so we have two deleted and delete another one. Let's click on that and get rid of the excess name of Among Me Jonathan. Now the other thing that we can do is we can always add more data to this. Let's assume we want to add data. We can always come in here and just click on reset. There we go, and just add, let's say the reference number of this is just 3331, and the name is, let's go for Johnny. Let's say it's Johnny Lagos. Address of Johnny Lagos is, let's say, Ole Road. Okay, those are all the details of Johnny Lagos. All we now need to do is to click on add, and there we go. You see that? That's Johnny Lagos details in there. Now we have access. You know what to do there. And we can also print this out. Click on print. Unfortunately, I don't have print on my system. I can always save it to a PDF file, and you see the printer is responding. And right there, I'm going to save the PDF file straight onto my desktop. Let's click on save, and we can always open that if you want. And right here is my PDF file. There we go. Okay, I'm going to close that there. So guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you straight into Excel development environment, and we'll put one of these together. However, for those of you who would like to have a go at it, I'm going to include the raw data, not the program, the raw data, onto the description area. So let's do that now, guys. And welcome back to Advanced Excel Data Entry System with a search function. So I'm going to start by saving this very raw data. Save as. And right there, that's the name of the raw data. I'm going to click on save. There, it is saved now. Okay, before I can start, the first thing I'm going to do is I will go back in there and just save it as a macro enable file. So you come right in here, and let's change the file type to Excel macro enable and click on save. There we go. That is it. It's now saved as an Excel macro enable. Now the next thing I want to do is go to developer right here. If you don't have your developer tool open, go to file, let's select options, and right in here, that's where we have our developer tool. Click on customize ribbon, and you should be able to see your developer tool right here. If it's not enabled, make sure it is checked and click on OK, and there your developer tool should appear. All you then need to do is to select the developer tool and then select Visual Basic right here, or we can select Alt F11. Okay, so let's click on that, and the next thing we want to do now is to select insert. Select Userform. And there we go, that goes our user form. I'm now going to define the size of this form, so let's come right down here. I'm going to enter about 1024 by, let's go for 750 for the height. There we go. The next thing I want to do now is to make sure the toolbox is selected. If you don't have the toolbox on board, it's right here. That is it. Click on the toolbox. So let's select the frame, which is right here. Click on that and just drag it that much. Yeah, that is one. And click on it and click and drag. That will be number 2. And click again and drag. That should be frame number 3. Right. Drag this down and this down as well. There we go. Right. The next thing I'm going to do is to get rid of the content I have inside those frames there. Let's delete that. Go to the caption and get rid of them. Okay. Now before I proceed, I'm going to change the back color. Select the form, and now let's come to the where we have background color and change it to green. Palette right there. Okay, that's fine. Then the next thing is, you see all these frames, I'm going to change their color. Select these 2 frames here, frame 2 and 3, and let's change the color to something light. There we go. So this one up here, I'm going to change that color to green. Let's come down here and just change that to green. Right. Now the next thing is select the toolbox and let's add a label here. And that very label, I'm going to increase the font size to something readable. Make that bold and just there. Right, and let's change the font color. There we go. Now in there, let's enter in there, let's just say Excel, or we can just call it Advanced Excel Data Entry Form. Okay, that's what that will do. Maybe increase the font size a little bit more. Okay, so let's continue, and in here I'm going to enter another label here. I'm going to need 10 of those, and right here I need text box. And just hold on to your control, click and drag. So we have 4 here and so on. Right. Okay, now in here I need a list box, so let's look for a list box. Click and just drag a list box here somewhere. And I also need a label and a text box here for my search function, and one label for the dates right there. Okay, and here I need my buttons. Add some buttons here. Right. Click and hold and drag. Right. Leave that and move this down. Okay. So those are all my buttons. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to speed up the development of the interface, and I will then get back to you guys shortly. Alright guys, this is how the interface looks right now, apart from the buttons do nothing, and this very one here, number 7 or number 6 here, I'm gonna have to delete that. So I'm gonna come right here. So for those of you that might be new to VBA programming, all you need to do is to change the labels. Just select it, and right here, that's the caption. Just change the name around, and that's it right there. The name has changed. Okay, it's no big deal. Just click inside the properties, look for caption, and change the names. And that's all I've just done, just to make it look good. And right here, the other thing I want to do is, you see this very one, a very button, I'm going to delete it. The button I actually need in there is going to be the spin button. I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go, spin button. Let's drag it that much. Okay, let's see the size of these buttons is 50 by 78. So let's make this one 50 by 78 as well. So up here, that should be 78. Move this up so that you guys can see it. 78 and 50. The height should be 50. The height is 50. Right, that's fine. Okay, that looks a bit alright. Now, if I run it, this is what you guys should see. Nothing is happening right now. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so let's write some codes. Okay guys, the first thing I like to do is, you see, when I run the program, I would like all of the data on the worksheet to be displayed right here on this very list box. And here are the raw data I'm talking about. This raw data will be included on the description area. I just made it up. If you look in here, I have 10, I believe it's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah, 10 columns. So let's go back to our form here. So I'm going to use form initialize. So let's double click on the form itself. You see here we have private sub form click. So I'm going to change the events to initialize. So come right here, select that. Okay, this procedural area, click on that, and we need initialize. There we go. Which means just initialize whatever we have on the form displayed as follows, and also whatever we have on the workbook. So the first one is here, the list box. That is the name of the list box, LST display. So let's go back to our form initialize right here. Now the first thing is going to be LST display dot count row. So I'm going to increment that very row by 1. Okay, equals 11. So always increment your row by 1, else you might end up with -1 row, which you don't want. So that is it. So control as follows. Now the next thing is a space that I've just copied, display dot row source. Okay, row source, where is that coming from? I'm going to say it is coming from, let's say, A1 to, so this is my A1 here. I can even make it A2 really. So let's go back in here. The A1 column J, because the other frame, the last frame here is letter J right here. It is letter J. So I'm going to make that 65,356. So let's go back in there. J, 65,356. There we go. Now, okay, if I run it now, what you guys will see is as follows. Just click and run. There we go. You see? And this is the A1 itself, the title. Okay, I have to include that. Let's see, supposing we say it's A2, that means the title will now be included. You see, the title is gone. Okay, and now I will actually like to be able to see the title, so I'm going to close that, and let's come right inside the code and add A1 there. Now that is sorted. The next thing I would like to do with this initialization process is I would like the member type right here. That is the combo box called member type, then evidence, provide evidence, and the fees. So let's go back inside the initialize form. So I'm going to enter combo box member type dot add item, and the very first item I intend to add, I'm just going to make that empty. There's nothing in there when the form starts, so you can always add, use the drop down list to add as follows. Okay, now let's add some data in here. Right here I'm going to enter annual, and I'm going to go for quarter or quarterly, monthly, and finally I'm going to make this weekly there. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to now add proof of ID. So let's come right down here. We'll copy this first. For the proof of ID, the name of that is CMB proof. Paste there. I'm just going to copy this and paste about 7 there, and just speed up the whole process there. Okay, I've speed that up, and I'm also going to add members fees right there. Okay, if let's save and just run it, and you guys see what I'm talking about. Now if you click on this, we can just drop that down and so on. There we go. Now the next thing that I would like to do is to be able to display right here the current date. And let's come back in here, select this, let's find out the name of this object is LBL display, and here let's increase this font size to something a little bit bigger. Let's make that 42 and see how it's going to look like. Okay, maybe 48 then. There. Alright, that is fine. Now let's go back to form initialize. Double click on form initialize, and right underneath here LBL date dot caption equals, so let's use the method format, and we go for date. Okay, then we want to add, okay, I'm going to format it, let's say DDD, and that is for months, and this will be for the year 1 2 3 4. Close that. There we go. If I run the program, I should be able to see the date on the current form right there. That's that done. Okay, now let's try and take care of exit. So close that, and let's come right here. We need a button exit. Scroll right down, double click on exit, and right here that is the procedural area for the exit. As for the exit, the first thing I like to do is to define the following variable. I'm going to say dim, which means declare, and that's my exit variable. I exit, and I'm going to call that as, let's go for integer. No, we might as well use VB message box result, and right underneath here I'm going to say I exit equals message box and I will then enter the following statement: confirm if you want to exit. Confirm if you want to exit, comma, and VB question, yes or no, and that will be search. That is the, or we can just call it advanced search entry search system. That is fine. Minimize this so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Now press enter. Let's see. Okay, we have an error there. I was meant to close that very speech mark. That is why. So now we need to use an if statement to determine the option make or the selection made by the end user. So let's say if I exit equals VB yes, then this is what I want you to do: exit or unload me. Unload me. And if. So hopefully that should take care of the exit. I prefer it this way because the system prompts you to confirm if you want to exit. Sometimes people end up making a mistake just clicking on the exit. No, I do not want to exit. Yes, I do want to exit. See, that is good. Now let's click on reset. So the component we intend to reset are the whole text box here. Okay, I'm going to click on them so that we can reset them. And one very important thing that we need to know or put into consideration is this very frame right here. So I'm going to be calling frame 2, and here is frame 3. This is frame 1, so frame 2. So let's come right down here and double click on reset, and that is the procedural area for reset. As for the reset, the first thing I would like to do is I'm going to declare as follows: dim txt. Okay, I'm just going to leave it as dim txt, no variable attached, sorry, no data type attached. I will now use a for loop for each txt in frame 2. Okay, if you guys notice, I'm calling frame 2 because all of my data are actually, all of the text box are actually on frame 2. Look at it, frame 2. That is why I'm using frame 2. Should, in case if you're not using frame, then you do not need to enter frame. Okay, let's assume I'm using frame 3, then I would have changed that to frame 3. There. Supposing I'm on frame 3, that would have been frame 3, or frame 1, that would be frame 1. Supposing there's no frame at all, then it's going to be me dot controls. But because I'm using the frame, so that would be frame 2. Okay guys, a lot of my viewers do send me a message and they get confused there. So in this case I'm using the framework. So if the type of txt is in form or ms forms dot text box, then I want you to do as follows: txt dot text equals clear, and if, and I'm gonna get it nested as well. Then let's say txt search dot text, if there's anything in there, let's get it cleared as well. The other things that we need to clear is, let's clear all of these. If there's anything in there, we just clear them. Copy that and paste it right underneath here. Those are the 3 combo blocks that get initialized once the form opens. Now copy this one as well. The only bit that I will not get rid of will be the date. I will leave the date right there. So copy all of these and reset, paste. So if I run the whole program now, this is what you will see. Supposing I enter anything in here and here as well, and my search, and I click on reset. There we go. oh, this is not working. Let's find out why. Okay, back into the reset area. Because I have add is empty, we should change that to text actually, because there's text inside those combo box. So let's change all of that to text and repeat for that. So let's run it and see what's going to happen. So enter whatever in here and here as well, and right here select and select. There we go. So search, click on reset. There, it's now working. Good. So I have exit working, reset working. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of the first part of this tutorial, and I'll see you guys shortly.